This is the business of art. G'day and welcome to today's episode. We're talking about growth today. I've been reading a book called Small Giants, which is a book by Bo Burlingham. Excellent book, really great. Talks about businesses that have had the opportunity to scale, the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to become very large, but have chosen not to. And it sparked a really interesting thought for me about scale and growth and what that means for us in creative businesses. There are a couple of businesses that are talked about in this book that are in the creative field. One's a music company and one is in visual design. So it is a great book and just a great perspective to think about things differently. So there's 3 points about growth that I want to touch on today. I think it's important for us to understand what we are actually talking about when we say growth. And for me, that is about generating income. How do we as artists, as creative people, grow the income for our business? And ultimately our business, for a lot of us, is us. It's an individual sole trader business. It may be bigger than that, but the basic principles are all the same. One way to increase profit is to reduce expenses. The other way to increase profit is to increase income and leave expenses the same. So, those principles work no matter what size your business is. That's just basic math. So here's 3 different things that I've picked up from the reading, the learning, my experience in business over the last 20 years about growth and generating income. So the first one is very simply, put your prices up. More often than not, we are the one that's critiquing our work way worse than anybody else. And it's a habit that we have to get out of. We have to accept that we are providing a specialized service. We are doing something that very few people can do. And we have to be confident enough to charge accordingly for that. Now, what you charge for that is going to be based on your level of skill, your expertise, your mastership of your craft, whatever that might be. Don't be afraid to have a look around the marketplace, which is what we're talking about. Other artists that are doing the same sort of work as you, what are they charging? Who's selling stuff similar to what you do? And what are they charging for it and what are people paying for it? That gives you a bit of a benchmark of what the market, the audience, the customer is going to be willing to pay. Now, I'm not saying that you should base your price purely on what everybody else is charging because, as I just said, most artists are undervaluing what they do. So don't be afraid to test the waters and actually charge a higher rate and see if someone accepts it. Don't charge a price that brings with it a level of expectation of your output that you cannot actually deliver. That's very important, that what you're charging for matches your skills and experience, your ability to deliver. So don't overcharge, but don't be afraid to push the boundaries a little bit and see what people are willing to pay for your skill. And if the price comes across too high to that customer, well then you can still drop the price. You might find that there's a point in between your original price and your new price that actually fits. And then, well, there you go. That's your price. You can set that price for somebody else and see if they pay for it. This whole thing is just about testing the market to see what people are willing to pay. You might be very surprised what your customers, what your audience are actually willing to pay if you just confidently tell them that that's the price. Number 2, grow the width of your reach. How far your reach extends. If, for instance, you're a small theatre company and you're selling 500 tickets a season, well, if you sell 550, you've grown the width of your reach. You've sold to more people. That's going to generate more income. So you might do that by pouring more money into marketing dollars. If you're a theatre company, spending more money on marketing to make sure that the marketing dollars are reaching more people, and that's enticing more people to come and see your show. The third one, and probably the most important, is to grow the depth of your reach. If you already have someone that's purchased your art or come to see one of your shows, then you have an audience. Get to know that audience as well as you can. Make sure that your relationship with them is not purely transactional, that you only ever contact them when you want them to spend money. You need to nurture that relationship, just like with any kind of friend, so that they feel like they are a valued part of your community. Growing the depth of that reach is the sort of thing that's going to make them want to stay connected, and potentially bring somebody else into that community who will spend money with you, or grow their own level of expenditure on what it is that you provide. So you need to make sure that you have a means to communicate with the people that have already purchased from you. Whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, an email list, wherever your customers are, that's where you need to be, so that you can communicate with them in a way that fits them, that makes sense to them. It's a way for you to build the relationship. Yes, it takes a bit of effort, but that effort is going to yield you a more sustainable audience base for the work that you're doing, and therefore means that you can grow your income longer and stronger over time. So that's it. There's three things. They are not mutually exclusive. You can do all three of them at once. I thoroughly recommend you consider all three of them in regards to your art, your business, whatever it is that you're creating, and see which ones you can start with. But without a doubt, 100% start with number 3 and start really growing a deeper connection with the people that are already spending money with you, that are already following you on your social media or in your email list or whatever. Start to build that relationship, and it will be much easier for you to convert them into a paying customer down the track. Really hope you found something of value in today's discussion. If you did, please like, comment, share the video, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can find out when the next episode is released. And remember, business skills can be used for good or evil. You can sell out without selling out. See you next time.